Most Canadians think they're doing pretty good with their money. Maybe you've got a job, maybe some savings, a tax-free savings account. But when I meet with people, I regularly see the same mistakes pop up again and again. They're not necessarily huge, obvious mistakes, but they can often be quiet ones that slowly drain your progress over time. So in this video, we'll go through 5 of the biggest money mistakes Canadians are making and how you can fix them today. Mistake number 1 is treating credit cards like free money. So we'll start with the big one, credit cards. Now, credit cards aren't evil in and of themselves. They can actually be a really useful tool if you have the discipline to use them properly. The problem is when they start feeling like free money. The average Canadian carries about $4,000 in credit card debt, and those rates can hit 20% or more. That's hundreds of dollars a year just in interest for money you've already spent months ago. The fix here is pretty simple, but it's powerful. Set up automatic full payments every month so you never pay interest. And if you've already got a balance, just make a plan to knock it out as fast as possible. There's something called a snowball method where you pay off the highest interest debt first and slowly work your way through your debt until you get to the lowest interest credit cards and loans. I like to tell people paying off high interest is the only guaranteed 20% you'll ever find. Mistake number 2 is ignoring employer benefits or free money. The second mistake is literally leaving free money on the table. And yes, I mean literally free. If your employer offers an RSP match or pension contribution match, that's one of the best deals in personal finance. A lot of people skip it because they feel like they can't afford to contribute right now, but if your employer matches what you put in, even 3 or 5%, it's an instant 100% return. There are lots of good investment options out there in the world, but none that are guaranteeing doubling your money immediately. So if you're able to opt in, it's generally a good idea to take advantage of these matching programs. And while you're at it, check what other benefits you have. Things like health spending accounts, wellness credits, or insurance options. A lot of people don't realize how much value they're just leaving unused. Now, the only exception to this would be if your primary goal is saving for a house and you'd rather not tie up funds in a pension plan. But as always, make sure to talk to a professional for specific advice on your situation. Mistake number 3, not using your registered accounts properly. We all know about the tax-free savings account and RSP, but most people don't really understand how to use them strategically. So just as a quick refresher, TFSA stands for tax-free savings account. You invest after-tax money, it grows tax-free, and you can pull it out anytime without any tax implications. RSPs, you get a tax deduction now, but you'll pay tax when you take it out later, ideally in retirement when your income's lower. It's great for tax-deferred growth. The FHSA is Canada's new first home buyer savings account. Kind of the best of both worlds. You get a tax deduction going in and tax-free coming out when you buy your first home. Now, LIRA, these generally come from when you leave an employer and have a pension plan account to take with you. Withdrawals eventually are taxed when they come out. So what's the mistake? People leave cash sitting in checking or basic savings accounts, earning basically nothing and paying tax on that interest. If you're saving for something long-term, retirement, down payment, future flexibility, registered accounts are where you should have your money. Think of them as a way to keep your own money instead of sending the extra growth to CRA. Mistake number 4, stretching too far on housing or vehicles. This might actually be the biggest issue I see on a daily basis. Now, this one's tough because living in Canada is expensive. With recent bursts of inflation and run-up in housing costs, it feels impossible to responsibly purchase a home. But just because the bank says you can qualify for a certain mortgage or car payment doesn't mean you should. There's a big difference between what you can and should do. A good general rule is to keep your housing costs, that's mortgage, property tax, utilities, all in, under 35% of your income. Transportation, aim for 10 to 15% max. When you go above that, it starts eating into everything else. Savings, investing, and even just your general sense of freedom. Now, even these rules of thumb can depend on your age. For anyone that's young, I would suggest keeping your vehicle costs as low as is reasonable for you. The opportunity cost of vehicle, depreciation, higher insurance, and the interest costs are a lot more than the price themselves. That money that could be invested in compounding for 20 or 30 years would make a huge difference. Now, a good definition of wealth isn't about just having the nicest car or the biggest house. It's about having options to live life on your terms. Keeping those fixed costs under control gives you that flexibility when life changes. Maintaining strong cash flow is one of the greatest measures of financial success I've seen in my career. And mistake number 5, having no clear plan. I see this all the time. People save a bit when they can, invest when they remember, and just kind of hope it works out in the end for them. Now, not everyone needs some complicated spreadsheet or a 50-page financial plan, but you do need some direction. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Start with a few simple steps. Number 1, build an emergency fund, at least 3 months worth of expenses. Number 2, pay off your high interest debt as soon as possible. Number 3 is track your expenses. Number 4 is automate contributions to your tax-free savings account or RSP. And last but not least, number 5, check in once a year to make sure that you're still on track. That's it. It's simple, but it works. And once it's automated, you don't really have to think about it every week. So to recap, don't let credit cards turn into long-term debt. Utilize your employer matches. It's literally free money. Take advantage and use your registered accounts wisely. Keep housing and vehicle costs in check and have a plan that keeps you moving forward. Now, these are the basics that make the biggest difference. If you can get these 5 things right, you're already ahead of most people I see.